I've held my tongue for too long on this issue, and I can't hold it back any longer. The Steel Ball Run anime has a balls problem. And no, I'm not talking about these balls. I'm talking about these balls. And while we're at it, these balls. And these balls too. As a man who grew up and survived the swag era of the 2010s, looking at Gyro's balls has reignited something in me that I have repressed for a long time. Nightmares of the pinch technique permeated my dreams. I was reminded of studies that told me that my cell phone being too close to my testicles would radioactively fry my sperm count. This era of clothing single-handedly radicalized me to fight the good fight against these torturous devices. You see, typical pant production features a rise of at least 13 to 14 inches. This is plenty of room to let the fellas roam around and have a comfortable amount of space to breathe. But this cannot be 14 inches. Gyro is classified as a man of average to above average height and a medium to athletic build. So with a quick Google search, we can determine the average height of an Italian male in 1890 is around 5 foot 4 inches. We'll tack on an extra inch or two to make it lore accurate, 5'6" or 7. Now, if I take my trusty ruler out here and do some quick calculations, we can determine that, dear God. David Production, you sick, torturous people. What the fuck were you thinking? You might as well be riding a horse with a fucking chastity belt on. This is like having an Iron Maiden encasing your ball sack. But wait, Jarvis, I have a feeling there is something far more sinister lurking beneath this waistband. Enhance this image. God almighty. It's just as I expected. But before we continue, are you looking for a sick action racing game that you can play literally anywhere? Well, you're in luck because a sponsor of today's video, Asphalt Legends, has you covered. Asphalt Legends is a free-to-play arcade racing game available on PS4, PS5, Xbox, PC, and mobile. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about playing it literally anywhere. My favorite part of the game is the competitive spirit that this game absolutely oozes. You can pick from over 250 hypercars based on real car brands like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, and more. Compete in multiplayer co-op challenges and climb the leaderboard with your friends and unlock a ton of really cool rewards on the way. But the biggest thing that I need to tell you about is the HoloLive collab event that they have going on right now from October 16th to November 13th. Your favorite VTubers from HoloLive are going to be plastered all over the game. From custom start of race voice lines, decals that you can customize your car with, to even a brand new hypercar being added to the game. You can check out all of the past live streams that all of the creators on screen right now have done. But if I had to pick one, I would pick IRyS because she's releasing a special song and music video to go along with the collab. You are not gonna want to miss out on this event, and remember, it only goes on from October 16th to November 13th. So remember to collect all the rewards and goodies that this event has to offer by downloading the game with the top link in the description or the QR code that's on screen right now. Thank you, Asphalt Legends, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into it. One of the major reasons that skinny jeans never stayed in the mainstream for too long is because they were just too fucking uncomfortable. So over time, people opted for more classic cuts, like the Levi 501s. I don't really want to talk about Jinkos in this video because they give me nightmares as well, so we're just gonna skip over those. But the tides turned in the 2010s. At the time, Saint Laurent was making a major comeback in the fashion industry, and since everyone now wanted to look like Hedy Slimaine's hot runway models, we had to completely revolutionize the way that we make denim. And by revolutionize, I mean completely destroy the DNA of pants as we know them today. Since demand was high, fashion conglomerates had to find a way to market these type of jeans to a wide variety of body types. You see, the makeup of a modern day skinny jean is very different to the ones you find in the 1960s and 70s. The modern day skinny jean has something very specific to it, and that specificity is elastane. I want you to take a look at this pair of 1960s Levi's 501s, the most popular jean ever created. Now I want you to look at the tag, 100% cotton. Now this is a pair of American Eagle super skinny jeans. You see this tag here? 98% cotton, 2% elastane. Introducing just 2% of elastane into the makeup of this jean meant that they could stretch to fit around any body type. It didn't matter if you had monstrous quads or were built like a stick figure. These disgusting abominations of cloth were going to fit around you. Now, I could go over why I hate elastane in the construction of pants, but that's not really important to what I'm trying to get at in the topic of this video. The more important thing to stress is that this is an invention that was made only 15 to 20 years ago to fix a problem of uncomfortability in skinny-ass pants. If you rewind the clock back to 1890, pants this skinny don't have the benefit of stretch, making the dilemma of riding a horse seem 10 to 20 times worse. But I want to clear something up right now, because as you've watched this video, you might assume that I hate every single type of skinny jeans known to man. And that's not exactly true. Because if you're a skinny-ass twink living on Camel Blues and baguettes every day, you can pull this off. But I want to zoom in on the camel there, because that camel knows something very, very important, and that's dressing for your body type. Camels on average can weigh anywhere from 600 to 2,200 pounds. Not to be offensive here, but that's a big boy. In the fashion world, most would consider that an athletic build. Do you see what I'm kind of getting at here? Are you putting the puzzle pieces together right now? Now you see the difference between these two gentlemen on screen right now? Both look pretty natural in their clothing choices, and that's by design. The Saint Laurent model here has a very skinny, slender frame, narrow shoulders, and a straight figure. Since his body is so straight, the clothes can follow the natural flow of his body. Joe Camel, on the other hand, is built. Broad shoulders, skull-crushing thighs. I mean, look at this motherfucker's biceps, okay? But because of that, his body is gonna have more dips and divots than a skinny, slender Saint Laurent model, which means you're gonna have to use excess fabric and drape to achieve a similar look. Joe Camel understands this and opts for straighter cut jeans and a fuller jacket to straighten out his appearance. Anime Gyro does not understand this. You see, the reason I brought up the camel is because Gyro and Joe have very similar builds. But the difference is Gyro opts for infertility grade tight pants that cling to his skinny calves and his built quads. This causes him to look extremely top heavy. He looks like that jeggings guy that pops up on Instagram Reels. You know, the ones in the ads. Please don't tell me I'm the only guy getting these ads, because that would be very embarrassing. Point is, it breaks the figure that the clothes are designed to emphasize. But the thing that annoys me the most about this entire situation is that Araki understands this rule. Araki tends to pull directly from fashion shows and art magazines, and it shows in his drawings. Why do you think he routinely collaborates with Gucci and has had his art in the fucking Louvre? It's because he understands the proportions that go into making an attractive character. Manga Gyro doesn't have these broad shoulders. They're far more narrow, which makes the skinny clothing that he sports here work. This is giving carefully designed, while this is giving Andrew Tate. And we do not fuck with Andrew Tate. All that being said, I don't think the JoJo animators are spiteful of Araki's work or anything. Not at all. I assume these are deliberate choices that the character designers made in order to ease production of the anime. Clothing drape is a very time-consuming thing to animate, as it's far different than animating the movement of a normal human body. Now, if you pile on the task of animating 1,000 different horses, stand abilities, and Jesus Christ himself, I'd assume that you'd want to cut some corners too. At the end of the day, I am a JoJo's fan, and I started by watching the anime. So no matter if I physically shiver every time that I see Gyro's pants clinging to his body, I will still be watching every single episode of the Part 7 anime as it airs. But on a side note, we should also protest the gross Japanese capitalistic structure that forces animators to make decisions to cut corners like this. Japan's gross work ethic culture and practices are forcing animators to maintain an absurd level of quality with little to no pay, rest, or reward. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.